were looking from way down there. I had no idea we were going to get up to above the tree line.
I didn't either. So how many miles did you think you covered for the trip?
We rode a little over 1,600 miles.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Going into this tour, not knowing any of these roads, I was thinking, are we going to be able to handle being on a highway for this many miles? Judging from our experience riding in other areas, and I have to say it was a lot better than I've expected it to be. What about you, Miss Coles?
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. The shoulders have been pretty wide, and people driving by have given us room, so it hasn't been bad. And you know, we've mostly left behind the busy miles for a few days now, so it's good.
Yeah, so what are we gonna do while we're here in Denver?
Well, we're gonna check out downtown Denver, I think, and we might swing by the art museum, and then my brother said that there's a cool bookstore that we should check out. So those are a couple options.
Sounds good. Google Maps gave us bad intel to get to downtown. This is the way to do it. I don't know what street this is, but there's signs that tell you how to get to downtown, and there's even a bunch of bike arrows and signs. I don't know why Google Maps would send us out on the busy road. Okay, well, we gotta find the Union Station so we can get our bus ticket, because we're gonna get on the bus and head down to Colorado Springs. Mm-hmm. We're doing that so that we can bypass all this city miles, and then we're gonna pick up our route there and we're gonna start heading south.
Would you recommend this place?
Yes.
And which wrap did you like the best? The waffle wrap or the other one?
Oh,
The black bean.
Let's see. I think this is the black bean one.
Yeah.
They're both delicious. I think they're kind of blending together. I'm just kind of blending them together. But yes, I would recommend it.
There's a lot of old brick buildings here in Denver. I think they've really done a lot of masonry work.
Do you think the brick is from the hillsides around? The clay from the hillsides around here?
Yeah, I wonder. It might be. Yeah, there's a lot of clay, a lot of red clay in the area. So yeah, probably. Is that it?
Is that it? It looks like the buildings with that angled roof.
You there already?
I wonder.
So the plan for today is we're going to ride from Colorado Springs to a small little town called West Cliff. It's out in the south desert area of Colorado, just north of New Mexico. Last night we took a bus from Denver and we got down here and we got a room at the Travel Star Inn. We're happy to have this room last night, and we were able to get up really early and get an early start. So right now it's about 7 o'clock, and we're ready to roll out. Look at the beautiful mountains here. This is just absolutely so beautiful. Look at this. I am really excited about the ride today, Miss Coles.
Me too.
Look at those beautiful mountains.
Oh my gosh. I knew that there were some beautiful mountains out there that we couldn't see last night.
Yeah. Chain, Miss Coles. You need to oil your chain. Well, we are in a small village here. Tonight we're going to camp out here in West Cliff. We're at 7,880 feet.
The stars, the galaxy.
Yeah, we should. We're going to see the whole galaxy tonight. But there is a little smoke in the air, so it may not be as clear as we'd like. But we're at 7,880 feet. And it looks like it's going to get cold. So Miss Cole said we're going to have to cover up in a tarp tonight. Here's our coffee shop for the morning. Says 6:30. I'm really liking those leg warmers you got on. I like the whole look.
This was improvisation. They are arm warmers. I didn't bring leg warmers, but so I put them on my legs and realized that I can start a new fashion.
You can start a new trend.
Pretty cool.
Arm warmers for leg warmers trend.
Yeah, they look better.
I like them. I like the black and white stripes. It looks like you just busted out of prison, and you're on the run from the law.
We are on. Oh, we haven't told people that.
Well, it's not open yet. A little bit chilly out here today.
Yes.
So last night we were heading back to our campsite and we ran into a fella who asked us where we were going, and we mentioned we were going down to Santa Fe, and he said, "Oh, did you know that they're doing a quarantine in New Mexico for travelers?" and we did not know that. So we've been doing some research online to figure out what that means for travelers on bicycles who are coming in, who aren't planning to stay in New Mexico for very long, but just coming in because that's the next major city to where we are currently located. And so we looked online, and it turns out that the governor of New Mexico has revised the quarantine order for now. We went on to their official website to verify, and the new order is that if you are coming in from a state that's considered a high contraction rate state based on a 7-day rolling average, then you would have to self-quarantine for 14 days. And California is one of those states. However, we have been out of California now by the time we get there, we will be out of California for 10 days. Now that's not 14, and it would be sort of pushing the limits a little bit if we were to sort of say that we are, not coming from California. So to do the ethical thing and to take the ethical approach on this, and to also understand that the intent of the quarantine is to keep the people of New Mexico safe, we're not going to press that issue at all. That would mean we are basically terminating our tour today, and we're going to have to ride back and get a car in order to avoid putting the good people of New Mexico at risk, which we don't want to do. Welcome to Pueblo, Miss Schools.
Well, thank you. This is not exactly what I expected a town called Pueblo to look like. A little bigger.
Yeah.
But here we are. I got our tickets. We're taking the Greyhound from Pueblo, Colorado, back up to Denver, where we'll find some other connecting mode of transportation to start heading back home.
found out here in southern Utah. This is the Great Basin, and it is living up to its name, I'll say.
This is really incredible.
I think that might be the straightest road I've driven on in my entire life, where you can just see for, what, 100 miles straight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh.
Imagine just walking out there. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Last night we pulled into Truckee at around 11 p.m. and found a beautiful spot by Donner Lake in the trees that smelled so delicious. We pulled in there. It was nice and dark. The full moon was over us. We reclined the seats back, crawled into our sleeping bags, and slept a good few hours.
Got a few hours. Yeah, and we made it on time. We're actually 7 hours early.
Wow.
So
We're never early for anything. How did that happen?
totally true. All right, let me get this bag back on the bike here and turn in the key.
Well, we are on the final leg of our journey from Santa Rosa Airport all the way home. But we do have a pretty good climb ahead of us, so shouldn't get too comfortable yet.
Well, and just like that, we're back. Before I go, I do want to say a few final words, and I also want to give you a complete breakdown of all the statistics of the entire ride. So don't go away. Okay, Miss Cools will be joining us here in just a moment, but before she does, I wanted to go over the total statistics for this bike tour. So the tour was 14 days, of which 13 we actually rode, and 1 whole day was driving back from Denver. So we lost a day there. And of those 13 days, we rode 763 miles, which is 1,228 kilometers. We climbed over 41,000 feet, which is around 12,700 meters. Our total ride time was 63 hours and 20 minutes, which gave us an average speed of 12 miles per hour. If you consider this the way they calculate the bike packing events, where they take the total distance divided by the total time, our actual speed for the whole tour was 2 miles per hour. So that so that's what it was. 2
Nice.
miles per hour. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I thought, well, before we end this series, we would just share a few final thoughts. So what was something that what's the first thing that comes to mind about this tour for you, Ms. Schools?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind was the squeaky wheel. I'm sure you all heard that persistent chirping sound that pretty much started at day 1 of the tour, or maybe a little before, and didn't end until, get this, the last day when we were riding home, my wheel stopped chirping.
It solved itself.
What's up with that? It chirped the whole time. I suspect it was due to something maybe lodged in one of the spoke nipples on my front wheel that's happened before. I tried cleaning them out and I wasn't successful getting that chirping to stop this time. So unfortunately, you had to hear it the whole time, and so thanks for your patience.
Well, yeah, that's all right. I just rode in the front the whole time so that I didn't hear it.
Okay, good. It didn't travel. The
Yeah.
sound didn't travel in your direction.
Which, by the way, I think I exaggerated a little bit on the number of flats you got. And so I actually made a whole video, completely different video today, and I was thinking about how I made the mistake of saying that about your flats. But that'll be in another video later.
Okay.
So I think you really only had, what, 3 flats?
3. I
Yeah.
got 3 punctures.
Oh, yeah, and I had, and I know I'm saying this, I'm going to regret saying this, but luckily, I had no mechanical problems, and I did not have a single flat, and I only wiped my chain down. I didn't even re-lube my chain. I just wiped it one time for the whole tour.
That's impressive. My record was not so good. I had a squeaky front wheel, a bottom bracket that started creaking on the Grand Mesa climb, but magically worked itself out, thank goodness, because I was worried about that. And 3 punctures, and there was one more thing. A very squeaky chain toward the end. But
Brakes worked okay?
brakes worked good.
No brake problems? Okay.
No brake problems, and I think partly that's because of how gradual the descents that we did were, as opposed to where we normally ride. I burned through the brake pads like butter, whereas there they didn't. They did great.
Yeah. Well, we only actually covered 41,000 feet, so over 760 miles.
Yeah.
So that's not a lot of climbing for the total distance. So, okay, well, so my final thoughts on the tour were I was really impressed with the desert, really impressed with the drivers there in Utah and Colorado. They made those miles, especially on the highways, feel a lot safer than I think they would have felt perhaps in other places that I've ridden. So I wanted to say thanks to all the Utah drivers, and I would love to talk more about what they were doing. I noticed something that was really interesting about how they drive around cyclists, but maybe I'll share that some other time. But it was really, really interesting. So thank you for that. But, I mean, gosh, there's so many takeaways. But why don't you go? What was your takeaway?
One thing was this year with a lot going on, the fires and COVID and what else I can't remember, but the smoke. Yeah, we put off going on a bike tour. We kept planning on going one, and we just kept pushing it back and pushing it back. Until finally we decided, okay, we're gonna go. We're gonna. It's gonna be a good way to travel because we'll be outside. We'll be sheltering in place. But still, all that in mind, I left this time feeling anxious about it rather than excited like I might normally do on a bike tour. But by, I would say maybe day 3, those worries kind of started melting away. The more you go out there and pedal, and your mind becomes clearer, and it lit a fire in me again. By the end of the tour, I was so glad that we did it, and excited to think about what we might be doing in the future to tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there was definitely a period of where you kind of warm up into the tour, I noticed. Like for me, the first couple days were a little hard to adjust, but after that, it just becomes, you become kind of more used to it, and it gets easier, even though the days got longer and harder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like you build fitness as you go. It's pretty cool.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
longer tour. I'm thinking longer tour next time. Longer.
Oh, I'm on board
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
And maybe cover more ground. Oh, we could talk about some equipment things that we might do differently next time. But maybe that's too much for this video. Because I've got lots of... Yeah, we'll have to... Let's do this. If anyone out there has any specific questions, if there's enough questions on this video, we'll take all those questions and we'll do a follow-up Q&A. So leave your comments down below. Leave your questions down below. And then maybe we can... Because some people probably, they're not even seeing this part of the video right now. They've already turned it off. So it'd be nice to move all this into its own video. What do you think?
That's a good idea.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot we could talk about. Equipment on the bikes and the tent equipment, the sleeping system. That's so funny. It's the sleeping system. The tent system, the sleep system, the food system, the coffee system.
Digestive system.
The digestive system, the sunscreen
circulation
system.
Yeah.
The sun protection system, the cold weather system.
Oh, I was going to mention, we called this tour Nothing is Set in Stone. Because the approach this time was we really didn't have a route planned. We didn't want to plan a route because we thought with the conditions being so uncertain in the world, we're going to have to be adaptable anyway. So that took extra time. The navigation took extra time this time. So
Oh yeah, thanks. I'm so glad you mentioned all that because, yeah, that was really that was sort of the whole. What am I trying to say? I don't know. That was definitely the theme. That's what I was looking for.
yeah,
That was the theme of the tour. You know, we knew we couldn't just go in. In fact, we didn't even plan that much in advance because we didn't want to put anything down that we'd have to change anyway. So we really just kind of jotted down some ideas and just said, well, there's a fire burning there, there's smoke over there, there's this down there, so let's go right to here and start.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, there were fires burning north, east, south, and west in the whole country.
Yep. So anyway, I think that's good. So if anyone has any questions, if we get enough, we'll do a whole nother video just answering questions from our experience on this tour. And
Thank you all for watching.
yeah, thanks for following along. I know there's been a lot more people watching this than I was expecting, so thank you all very much, and hope we didn't let you down. I know this one was a lot of content in one short period of time, but I was thinking of doing this as a single video. I actually thought I was going to do that. And then I got home and I saw this content. I mean, here we are. We're on video 6. So it just wasn't possible. So we drug them all along. We drug them through the mud. Sorry, guys. Anyway, okay. Well, yeah, why don't you say the final conclusion to this video, Miss Coles?
Well, yeah, when you meet so many people and you see so many neat things, it ends up turning into a 6-part series. So with that note, thank you all so much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.